to episode 6 of 11 on 11, where we highlight specific issues confronting our residents and update you about what's happening in our state capitol.
Recently, the governor introduced his proposed budget, which did include a partial increase of state aid funding for our schools. But it still preserves $55 million of cuts to over 200 districts, resulting in a devastating budget shortfall.
Marilyn and I are determined to return state aid our schools have lost and guarantee our students get the quality education they deserve. We'll keep pushing the governor and his administration to make a more substantial investment in our schools.
During the last voting session, I spoke of this failure on the floor of the General Assembly. Despite my impassioned plea, the Democrats shamefully tabled my motion to fully fund our schools. This is a major insult to our constituents who are expecting the Assembly to take action and support our children.
Instead, the legislature passed S 3732, providing a fraction of the required school aid to make certain districts fully and fairly funded. Though we supported the bill, recognizing that recouping part of the losses is preferable to nothing, it is not enough to make up for the losses suffered by schools. We must continue to fight for greater funding to support our schools adequately.
The budget is flushed with available funding, a $10 billion surplus, leaving many of us to question how the state could better allocate these funds to support our inadequately funded school districts. Ultimately, this reflects the state's failure to commit to our children's future.
We have consistently argued that this surplus could provide vital funding to districts facing budget shortfalls, particularly the resources benefiting student safety and mental health.
Students from across the state have been impacted by isolation, cyberbullying, regular bullying, food insecurity, drug and alcohol use, domestic violence, and more, resulting in a public health crisis for students for mental health and leaving them feeling overwhelmed, depressed, even suicidal.
Now more than ever, it is important to foster an educational environment that promotes positive mental health, provides resources to those in need, and ensures our students have the support they require to succeed.
Yet, this administration continues to cut funding, programming, and professionals for school districts that need them the most. Instead, the state should increase funding, programming, and mental health professionals in school districts that need them to make a lasting impact on students' well-being and ultimately save lives.
We must act quickly and decisively to address this continuing public health crisis and ensure our students have the resources to foster well-being, resilience, and hope for the future. We must also give our teachers and the staff the tools and safety protocols to create a safe, nurturing, and secure learning environment for all students.
We have long advocated for school-based youth services programs and opposed Governor Murphy's plan to outsource mental health services, which would deny students quality care from trusted professionals. This is unacceptable, and we must urge the state to continue providing in-school assistance and total funding for these programs and districts.
School closures and the shift to online learning no doubt also created major educational obstacles. Despite this, students and teachers have worked hard to bridge the gap, but unfortunately, the state has chosen to make budget cuts, leaving students and educators in the dust.
Frankly, it's an insult to our state's hardworking teachers and students. A mere $100 million Band-Aid will do nothing to stop the financial hemorrhaging our LD11 and all the other schools are experiencing, and will only further disadvantage our students in need and our educators.
We hope this episode has assured you of our commitment to fully funding our school districts and providing effective and equitable mental health services and support to our schools, families, and communities.
We strongly believe in fully funding our school districts, in-school support services, and mental health programming. While we're working hard to ensure this happens, if you or someone you know is currently in crisis, please do not hesitate to ask for help. The National Suicide Prevention Line is available 24/7, and you can reach it by dialing 988.
We proudly stand with those concerned residents who have called on us to reverse schools' continued and devastating S2 funding cuts. Thank you for using your voices to demand fully funded schools, and we'll see you next month on episode 7 of 11 on 11. Bye.
Cheers.